Latest trends coming from Pakistan, and they seem to indicate that Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party is leading. It has a firm lead in 75 seats, set to be leading in another 20 seats, of course with a narrower margin. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz Sharif's party is leading in 51 seats, and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, his Pakistan People's Party, is leading in just 25 seats at this point of time. That's the latest that's coming from Pakistan. And I want to quickly bring in a noted Pakistan watcher and an analyst of this region, Professor Bharat Karnad, to make sense of this. Bharat Karnad, how do you look at these developments in Pakistan? Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is number one, but still well short of the halfway mark, sir.
Yeah, well, I think we have to give it time, because with the Pakistan army backing Imran Khan reasonably openly, you can expect that the ISI will be managing the mechanisms and the levers of state to get the outcome they desire. So I think the fact that the PPP and Nawaz Sharif's party have been given a certain number of seats adds to the verisimilitude of the results. So no one can then say that this is a rigged election. They want to make it appear as if it's close, so that the questioning doesn't begin off the bat, as it were. And it gives Imran Khan some little leeway after he takes over the prime ministership to bring the Pakistani state back on even keel. I think that's what the general design is, and let's see how it pans out.
Well, we'll have to see how this pans out. Sharat Sabrawal also joins us on the broadcast. He's India's former High Commissioner to Pakistan, someone who knows Pakistan very well. Sir, how do you look at these developments in Pakistan? Free and fair elections, because the media seem to indicate that there were major checks on the media, foreign media really not allowed, Indian media not allowed at all. How do you look at Imran Khan being ahead at 75 seats, leading in another 20?
Free and fair elections, certainly no. Given the kind of run-up to these elections that we have seen, I don't know what kind of credibility these elections would carry. Now, the results are on the expected lines. Lead for Imran Khan. From the leads that I have seen so far, it seems that it will be a hung assembly with Imran Khan's party. I mean, if this trend holds, it's a bit early to conclude. But he may need another 20, 25 seats, 30 seats to be the prime minister. Now, this is a dream come true for the army, because when there is a hung assembly, they will craft a coalition of their own choice. Even if it's Imran Khan who is the prime minister, he'll need support from certain other parties, which the army will arrange for him. To that extent, he who was someone who was built up by the army, he will be even more dependent on the army. So we are looking at a situation where it will be more of the same, a state controlled entirely by the army.
So Pakistan Army first prepared a pitch for Imran Khan to bowl out the others. Then, for a semblance, for it to look like a democracy, they let Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz win a certain number of seats. But then Imran Khan goes thus far and no further, Sharat Sabrawal. So that clearly means Pakistan Army continues to call the shots. So Pakistan Army will then this be a tie-up between Imran Khan and the PPP? Is that the only road ahead?
First of all, I think we should know that Imran Khan, he founded his party in 1996, and in the intervening elections he had won only a single seat in the 2002 elections. So he hadn't made his mark. It was only in 2011, when the army apprehended that Nawaz would win power in 2013, that they started building up Imran. Suddenly he addressed large rallies where crowds are brought in by the ISI. many politicians with links to the army gravitated towards him. So here was a politician who had failed to make his mark. And overnight, from that position, he became a politician of some consequence in Pakistan. Of course, he didn't deliver in 2013. He seems to be delivering this time with courtesy the army. Now, who would help Imran Khan? It's a bit early to say. PPP, yes, because Zardari has been put on notice. As you know, a money laundering case has been registered against him. So he's on notice to behave. That may be used eventually to bring him into a coalition, or even that may not be required, because there will be any number of loose members from provinces like Balochistan and religious parties and so on, who could be brought in to support Imran Khan. So it won't be difficult for the army to craft a coalition of their choice. That's what I said earlier. And therefore, Hung Assembly is a dream come true for them.
Hung Assembly, a dream come true, perhaps orchestrated. This was Pakistan Army's game plan all along, because Bharat Karnat, this is exactly what media has been writing all along. Hussein Haqqani, Pakistan's former ambassador to the United States, he's been predicting things on these lines all along, that the Pakistan Army will ensure no one wins. Pakistan Army will ensure Imran Khan becomes the Prime Minister. What would that mean for India? Somebody who's seen as Taliban Khan, and in a country where terror is virtually being mainstreamed now.
Well, for one thing, I think the Imran Khan, who visited Delhi in media conclaves in years past, is not the Imran Khan who's going to take power in Islamabad. This is a very different beast, and in fact in hock to the army. And as has been said and repeated by just about everybody, he'll do the army's bidding, if not in the direct sense of taking orders from GHQ Rawalpindi, then in terms of in protecting the army's interests. What are two or three of the main interests that the army would like protected? First, of course, is the promise not to interfere with anything the army does in terms of the budgets allotted, etc. The second is to ensure that there's no economic, shall we say, a microscope on the various foundations that the Pakistan military has set up, the Shaheen Foundation, the Fauji Foundation, and so on. These are multi-billion dollar corporations,
yes,
involved in just about everything, from cement to roadways to God knows what, sugar, and so on. So, and the third, of course, is that the government will not interfere in the kind of land grab the Pakistan Army has always always involved in, to reward the officers who get on to general staff ranks and ascend to the higher levels. They're given land as a perquisite.
Yes.
So these are the sorts of interests that the government of the day has to in a sense take care of. And then they are free to do whatever else they want to do, as long as, again, the Pakistan ideology, the ideology of Pakistan, which really stands in contradistinction to India in terms of its religious identity, etc., is maintained by way of rhetoric and policy.
So we see
the
no
hardline
change
on
in
Kashmir
Pakistan's
to continue, and then you have.
Okay, Ambassador Sharad Sabharwal, we see no change whatsoever in Pakistan's India policy, with terrorists perhaps being mainstreamed in Pakistan. Will we see a more hardline Pakistan's India policy?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you very well, Gaurav. Could you repeat your question?
What does this mean for India? Pakistan Army, will it continue to dictate the India policy? Imran Khan will have absolutely no say there?
Precisely, I won't read too much into what Imran Khan thinks, what he has said about relations with India, because as I said, it will be more of the same for us. A state controlled by the army. It was controlled by them earlier, it will be controlled by them now. The fact is that Nawaz Sharif, the only difference was that he was offering resistance to the army. He tried from time to time wrest control of foreign and security policy from them. The new Prime Minister, assuming it is Imran Khan, will not do even that. That's the only difference. Otherwise, they were in charge, they will continue to be in charge.
Okay.
And it is true that, when I was there, I met him occasionally as High Commissioner. He spoke of good relations with India, he's spoken of good relations with India in various forums. But if you look at his election manifesto, it's a very different language now.
It indeed is. It indeed is. Especially when you have the Taliban supporting him, when you have terrorists, including founder of terrorist organization like the Harkatul Mujahideen, openly supporting him, and at Islamabad. So clearly, India policy will not be, doesn't appear to be a change there. But let me also quickly bring in Mona Alam. She's a Pakistani journalist. She joins us on the broadcast. Mona Alam, so is Imran Khan forming the next government in Pakistan, heading towards a hung assembly though?
Yes, apparently, as of the results and trends that we are seeing so far, the results are not finalized yet. At about 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Pakistan time, we'll be able to give you a clearer picture. But as of now, the trends are absolutely suggesting that the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and Imran Khan's party is going to take a lead around here. And even in Punjab and central Punjab, which was supposed to be a stronghold of the PML-N, they are facing defeat, they are facing very low turnouts and votes in terms of their hardcore constituencies and in their hometown constituencies. So yes, it's going to be a setback for the former ruling party. But as of now, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is not just leading from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which happened to be their province in terms of the government last tenure. But this time around, they're also supposedly taking a lead in Punjab as well.
Right, the Pakistani media, Mona, has been writing that, Imran Khan was the army's favorite. So did the army create a pitch for him, create all the circumstances for him to win? Even today, several voters saying, that they're supporters of the PML-N or PPP, their buses were not allowed to go, they were not allowed to vote. So did the army orchestrate this for Imran Khan?
No, absolutely not. The army has not had any direct involvement, and I think one should also talk about both sides of the picture. There are voters, there are candidates who've been saying that they're in the election camps and they haven't seen, they are not crying foul, they haven't seen any foul play that has happened throughout the voting time. The prohibitions and the concerns that the voters were not allowed in the polling booths and the polling stations, these concerns were equivocally voiced out by PML-N, by the People's Party and the PTI as well, which is Imran Khan's party. So these concerns were unequivocally voiced out by all these parties, and they were addressed by the Election Commission of Pakistan. And are you also aware that Election Commission of Pakistan had cancelled the vote of the PTI chief Imran Khan himself, because he breached the secrecy of the ballot paper. He stamped his ballot paper right before the cameras, and within 45 minutes an action was invoked.
Fair enough, but all of this makes for great optics. All of this makes for great optics. So, but what about some of the terrorists who were contesting or terrorists who were campaigning? What about Allahu Akbar Tehreek, Mona? Have any of their candidates won, or are they leading?
Firstly, in books of Pakistan, I know a different perspective from Pakistan and India's side, but in books of Pakistan, at least Allahu Akbar Tehreek are not a terrorist organization, which is, Hafiz Saeed being led by Hafiz Saeed. Hafiz Saeed has also casted his vote. And he's a respectable citizen of Pakistan. When we talk about him, it's a different perspective.
Of course, we find that very strange. The civilized world finds that very strange. But be that as it may, anybody from Allahu Akbar Tehreek, Talha Saeed or Khalid Walid, the Hafiz Saeed's son and son-in-law?
No, there hasn't been any such victory for that party, because yes, I'm telling you, the results are not final as yet. But so far, their party has not seen any sort of lead. The only religious party which is seeing lead as of the unfinalized results which are being declared as of now is the MMA. It is an alliance of Islamic parties. It's called the Muttahida Majlis-e-Amal. That is the only party, and it doesn't consist of any sort of whatsoever banned organization, any sort of banned outfit of a political party. And same goes for Allahu Akbar Tehreek. There are different Tehreeks, there are different organizations which I may call banned, which are on the fourth schedule, and I as a Pakistani feel skeptical about them. But Allahu Akbar Tehreek and the Muttahida Majlis-e-Amal, they're absolutely not one of them, at least in Pakistan's books.
Well, you shouldn't feel just skeptical, you should be very alarmed, because Sherry Rahman was very alarmed, and on the floor of the Senate she said if these terrorists make it to the Senate or the National Assembly, democracy will not be able to breathe in Pakistan. You know, it's always good to speak the truth. And Mr. Sabharwal, since you've been a High Commissioner to Pakistan, what's your appreciation, sir? Hafiz Saeed contests, his son and son-in-law contesting elections or putting up 200 plus candidates. Your appreciation if they are not winning today?
No, this is an absolutely unacceptable situation, and I believe these terrorist extremist elements were brought in primarily to erode Nawaz Sharif's vote in Punjab. That was the primary aim. Now we have to see what kind of vote they get and if they get any seats and so on. Traditionally, religious parties haven't done very well in Pakistan. But if they manage to erode Nawaz Sharif's support and thereby giving advantage to PTI, that would be a gain in itself for the PTI and for what the security establishment wanted. And look, your Pakistani guest was saying earlier that nothing much happened today. There were complaints which were addressed. What we are talking here is not necessarily what happened on the election day. We are talking here of much that happened before the election and in the run-up to the election. The way the main campaigner of PML-N, which is Nawaz Sharif, was disqualified for not being truthful and righteous. Very subjective criteria which can be used by the deep state against any uncomfortable politician. Then the way they engineered defections from his party, the way media was intimidated, elements of religious and extremist organizations put up, as I said, to erode and cut into his vote. We are talking of all that, and the field was heavily tilted against PML-N and heavily in favor of PTI. You know, his result, as I said, is on the expected line.
Oh, absolutely,
and
sir.
I always believed that the first preference of the army would be to have a hung assembly in which they can craft a coalition of their own choice.
And which is
that
perhaps
seems to be happening.
Which is exactly what they intend to do in the days and weeks to come. But Bharat Karnad, one, when you put up terrorists like Allahu Akbar Tehreek, Hafiz Saeed, his son-in-law, other terrorists, one, they cut into PML-N's votes, and aim plus for the Pakistan army is mainstreaming terrorists like Hafiz Muhammad Saeed. They'll now tell the whole world it's only India that says he's a terrorist. He's actually a politician in Pakistan and his party contested elections. So have they brazenly mainstreamed terror, Bharat Karnad?
Well, look, insofar as they are trying to shall we say, normalize the political ground for Hafiz Saeed to then tread on. They have succeeded. Should he win his seat and so on and come into parliament, there he'll be free to hold forth and support the Kashmir cause as Pakistan sees it and so on. This is in a sense a carte blanche. But the fact to remember is this, that the extremist element will still be a very, very small minority. It'll be perhaps a very vocal minority, and they'll be given all the opportunity to make noise. But the Pakistan army, I think, is professional enough not to let go of the reins, as it were, on these guys, because they could get Pakistan and the Pakistan army into serious trouble. Insofar as they are restricted to making noises in Islamabad, in Parliament and so on, that's fine with the army. And insofar as they run remotely the various outfits in Kashmir, the terrorist gangs, that's okay too. That's part of their asymmetric warfare policy. But anything more should, in case they, for instance, precipitate something really big, which could hurt the Pakistan army, then I think, Hafiz Saeed, his wings will be clipped very fast.
Okay, but as of now, he up there, the Pakistan army appears to be encouraging him. Let's see the results now in the next couple of hours, as Mona Alam says, will be clear. Also joining me now on the broadcast is Qamar Cheema from Pakistan, a noted defense and security affairs analyst in Pakistan. Qamar Cheema, if a terrorist like Hafiz Saeed is being mainstreamed in Pakistan by the Pakistan army, sir, are you not concerned that Pakistan is on the Financial Action Task Force grey list, and with Hafiz Saeed being in the headlines even more in the days and weeks to come, it could spell more trouble for Pakistan?
Well, first of all, I would like to tell here that the Islamists in Pakistan has never been appreciated by the Pakistanis. Even the largest and the oldest political parties like Jamaat-e-Islami and Jamiyat Ulama-e-Islam, Fazlur Rahman, they have never been voted in large number that they could make the majority. One thing. Second thing, what I would like to mention here is that, why India and you want to discredit Pakistan's democracy when the different actors within Pakistan who never believed in democracy are embracing democracy. This is what we want to tell the international community. The only thing Pakistan is moving ahead is that Pakistan is moving towards the path of democracy. We are having a democratic culture. The actors which have been outside the ambit of the state, they are entering into the ambit of the state.
Without abandoning the gun, sir. Has Hafiz Saeed left terrorism before he joins mainstream politics? Has he said that he's abandoning terrorist organizations like Lashkar-e-Taiba, that they will no longer spread terror?
No, you want to make Imran Khan controversial because
I want to make Imran Khan controversial.
Have supported democracy.
Did India name him as Taliban Khan?
What is happening?
Did India name him Taliban Khan?
I think this is. You are trying to make Pakistan's democratic system controversial by just labeling it. Look,
but it's the Pakistani media. Indian media doesn't even have access to Pakistan.
Pakistan is a peaceful, a country that believes in democratic values the way India believes in.
But this is democracy. Again, Sharad Sabharwal is a former High Commissioner to Pakistan, understands Pakistan so well, and perhaps he will put you wise on this aspect. This is democracy, Pakistan army style. Pakistan army jitna aapko democracy degi, utni aap democracy banoge. Am I right, Mr. Sabharwal? Is there merit in the Pakistani commentator now saying, Qamar Cheema now saying, that Hafiz Saeed is being brought in the ambit of democracy?
Well, your guest from Pakistan is entitled to his views. The fact is that 2008 and 2013 elections in Pakistan were relatively free and fair. And there was a feeling within Pakistan and in the international community that democracy was perhaps finally striking roots in Pakistan. But that hope has been belied, as I said, not necessarily because what may have happened today. We don't know what kind of reports were there of complaints and so on, but what happened in the run-up to the election, a very selective accountability process which moved at a lightning speed, which is very unusual for Pakistan's judicial system. The way defections were engineered from PML-N, intimidation of media, as I said earlier. Now it's for everyone to draw their own conclusion about whether that is a democratic culture or not. And I would again say that, bringing in elements connected and well-known terrorist organization, they may be contesting under another name, and bringing in other religious extremist elements such as Tehreek-e-Labaik and so on, essentially to cut into PML-N's vote. They may not get a significant percentage of votes, they may not get many number of seats in the National Assembly, but these people, they contribute significantly to extremism within Pakistan. So, if they do come into the National Assembly, that trend would get accentuated.
Absolutely,
and greater extremism in Pakistan is not only bad for them, but for the entire region.
Oh, absolutely, sir. And Pakistan is feeling the pain. Mona Alam, there's been an unfortunate terror strike in Pakistan today. Unfortunately, there were casualties, both of uniformed personnel and civilians. Will we see a change in Pakistan's policy of selectively supporting terror, or under Imran Khan, who Pakistanis themselves also have called Taliban Khan in the past, will we see more of the same, or perhaps encouragement to these groups?
I hope the reception is fine, but I think I got your question and I'll put my point across. Firstly, you're trying to portray PML-N as a very leftist, as a very liberal party, which is certainly not the case.
Not at all.
They've
Not
had
at
the
all. We are not
support of the
portraying any party
underworld
as anything.
Of the religious. Let me complete. I am saying that the PML-N, you're portraying them as a leftist, as a liberal party. That is certainly not the case, because they've had the votes, they've had the supports of banned outfits, of religious extremist outfits throughout Punjab, throughout their last tenure and their previous tenures as well. And for the run up to the election that one of your panelists was talking about, he also spoke about intimidation of Pakistani media. Now, the very irrefutable fact that I have to quote on this piece is the fact that you must have come across that interview of BBC Hard Talk, where Hamid Haroon, the CEO of Dawn Group, one of the main contenders who've been speaking out against intimidation of Pakistani media, who've been raising these allegations, none other than the BBC interviewer had asked him of the irrefutable evidence that he has to back up this claim or this allegation that he's making. He had no claim, but nothing but social media trolls, nothing but social media trolling, fake accounts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe he was too scared to speak out against the Pakistan army. If I may, it's the Pakistan army that came out with a list of anti-Pakistan journalists, didn't they? DG ISPR came out with such a list, didn't they? Put it out on social media, Mr. Sabrawal. Perhaps the Pakistanis themselves are too scared to speak out against their army's intimidation tactics, or TV channels being taken off air, Dawn News not being allowed to circulate the newspaper, sir. Mr. Sabrawal.
Sorry, I couldn't get your question. Repeat it again, please.
So, did the Pakistan army intimidate their media? That's the point I was asking. Free and fair elections, instances of their intimidating their media which came out in public domain, sir.
Look, you cannot convince someone who don't wish to be convinced. Now, your panelists from Pakistan, they have a certain point of view. They are reflecting a shade of opinion in Pakistan. But within Pakistan, there are many shades of opinion, and there are many people who have spoken out, who have said that the entire election process, whatever happened earlier, the field was entirely tilted in one direction. And there have been any number of reports of intimidation of the media. Dawn circulation was disrupted. It couldn't reach some areas. They issued a statement on that, the Dawn newspaper.
They're printing
there
just as many copies as they were previously.
Which was taking a certain line, had to make a compromise. So, these kind of reports, and, then abductions of journalists and so on, we have heard all those reports.
Yes.
Now, this is one shade of opinion which you are getting from Pakistan. As I said, there is another shade of opinion.
Yes.
Within Pakistan, which says that this exercise lacks credibility.
This exercise lacks credibility, and that Kamar Chima is damning indictment of elections in Pakistan. You may think that it's a great exercise, but look at how the world perceives this. Look at how Pakistani commentators are perceiving it, sir.
Are you talking with me?
Absolutely. Kamar Chima.
Oh, Gaurav, one thing I failed to understand, that Pakistan, as I have mentioned earlier, Pakistan is going through a great exercise of moving towards a democratic culture and third time democratic transition from a civil government to another civil government. What's the problem in India? Why you people want to discredit our democratic setup? You want to blame the military, not the party that has come with the support of the people. You want to discredit that party, labeling it as a party being supported by the terrorists. The question is, why?
So who is Fazlur Rahman Khalil? Who is Fazlur Rahman Khalil, sir?
The question is,
did he not set up an organization called Harkatul Mujahideen? Is Fazlur Rahman Khalil? Sir, I'm asking you very basic facts. It is not opinion. I am not giving you opinion. On India Today, I'm giving you pure facts. Fazlur Rahman
Let me
Khalil,
answer.
what is his
Let me
background?
answer.
Did he sign
me
a
answer
document
on
with
this, please.
Osama bin Laden saying that they're going to wage global jihad?
Let me
This
answer
man
you on
publicly
this. The
announces
question-
that he will support Imran Khan in Islamabad.
Let me answer you on this. Can you tell me the method and the way that if a former militant group wants to join or wants to get a mainstream and shuns violence and wants to part in a democratic culture?
Shun
how can you
violence.
just shun
Where
that?
is the evidence of
question
shunning
is,
violence,
Taliban are
sir?
getting mainstream in
Where is
India.
the evidence
You
of
want to
shunning
mainstream
violence?
you
Where is
want
the
to
evidence of
mainstream
Hafiz
the
Saeed
indigenous,
shunning violence?
People who have waged the militancy against the Indian army in Kashmir. You want to mainstream the jihadists in Indian occupied Kashmir. The FARC
I'm
rebels have
sorry.
been mainstream.
I'm sorry.
Everyone who
Now you
wants to
stopped
drop
making
the
sense.
weapon and
Unfortunately,
wants to get
sir,
mainstream,
sir,
should
you
be
can argue
welcomed.
with me on facts. I have the
I'm
biggest
arguing with the
authorities on
facts.
Pakistan on the
Why
subject
Taliban
with me on the
are getting
broadcast, but
mainstream
you can't
when
you
they
can't
have-
you can't
when they
argue
have killed
rhetoric.
thousands of Afghans?
Who is Aurangzeb Farooqi? Who is Aurangzeb Farooqi?
Aurangzeb Farooqi is a different case. Aurangzeb Farooqi is a different case.
Is
has
he
been
is he on
engaged in
schedule
sectarian
4?
violence.
Is he on
He
schedule
must be
4?
prosecuted.
Is he on the Pakistani watch list of
He
terrorists
must
and
be
he's
tried as
contesting
per the
elections?
Pakistani law, one
Has he
thing.
abandoned
And
the
if-
gun?
And he must
Has
be,
he
he
paid
must
a
be
price
punished
for
that.
killing Shias in
He
Pakistan?
must be punished for that. Aurangzeb Farooqi must be punished for that. He has committed a crime. The responsibility of the Election Commission of Pakistan.
But
and of the
Election
Pakistani
Commission of
courts.
Pakistan is
I'm
not fulfilling that responsibility.
They
Election
must
Commission of
fulfill it
Pakistan,
if the Pakistani
perhaps,
courts, if the
I am sorry,
Pakistani
and let me get
courts
Bharat Karnad to
prosecute
respond to
Aurangzeb
this.
Farooqi, he must be
Who is
punished
the
for
Election
that.
Commission of Pakistan? Is the Pakistan Army the real Election
The
Commission of
Army
Pakistan?
has no role in it. The Pakistani army is a part of the executive. They are supporting the democratic process to be smooth and fair and free so that the system is working and they are fulfilling the duty. How come you bring Pakistan military in a process where they have no role? It is the job of the people of Pakistan to
Okay.
get into the people who want to come into the parliament.
Sir, you're
The military
trying
has
very
no
hard,
role.
but I'm sorry,
want
you're
to fix that
short
and you
on
want to malign
facts,
the military
high on
to
rhetoric.
Just in front of international media and international community. The only job India got so far.
Sir, on Al Jazeera, one of your Pakistani commentators, a Pakistani journalist on a foreign television channel said that the Pakistan army is interfering with elections. Bharat Karnad,
Is Al
there are
Jazeera the
realities
only
on
authority
ground
in
that
this world?
some Pakistanis don't
Is
see.
Al Jazeera the
Sir,
only
was this for the
authority
first
in
time?
this
Bharat Karnad,
world?
only
Half
Bharat
of the world
Karnad
does
for a
not
moment, please.
accept
Bharat Karnad, you had anti-ISI slogans being raised in Rawalpindi. ये जो दहशतगर्दी है, इसके पीछे वर्दी है. ये नारे लगे थे पाकिस्तान में, रावलपिंडी में, पाकिस्तान के पंजाब में. Bharat Karnad, what do you make of such slogans being raised against the ISI in Pakistan's Punjab, sir?
Well, it basically means that the Pakistani people, at least some sections of it, have, in a sense, sort of gotten confident enough to make public what everybody knows, that the Pakistan Army does have an overarching role in the Pakistani state, including in running elections. The fact, I think, is that the agencies of the Pakistan government, like the Election Commission and so on, the agencies of state, I mean, do not have to be directly manipulated by the army. They can get the message without their having to be whipped into taking a position. They are aware where the power lies and they seek to, in a sense, accommodate that power. So that's how things work in Pakistan. If just by way of analogy, if you recall, there was the emergency in India and various agencies of state assumed that they had to do things by just taking their cues from Delhi and whatever the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was saying.
Yep.
That's how things happen in remote manner to achieve things that the powers that be want.
Okay.
So this is what is the reality there. And most of the people in Pakistan do recognize it and have often, especially in the run-up to this election, voiced it publicly.
Okay. Genuine, and Mona, stay with me for a moment. I need to slip into a quick break here. But on the other side, we'll not only get to the latest trends in Pakistan, but what do those trends mean for the people of Pakistan? What does it mean for India? Because if Imran Khan does become the Prime Minister of Pakistan, which is what the Pakistan army wants, what will that mean? Will that mean more terror? Will that mean more terror attacks in India? Will that mean a more direct control of Pakistan army? All that and much. Okay, so let me now get you the latest updated trends from Pakistan. Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf now leading in 82 seats. Nawaz Sharif's Pakistan Muslim League, Nawaz, leading in 57 seats, and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's Pakistan People's Party restricted to 29 seats. So clearly unable to make any impact beyond Sindh. Nawaz Sharif, of course, at 57, his party at 57, doing well in Lahore, in urban Punjab. But even in Punjab, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf seems to be doing well. Imran Khan doing well in Punjab, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, of course, which is his bastion. But I want to quickly come on the India-centric question. Sharad Sabrawal, in your appreciation, sir, you've been a High Commissioner in Islamabad. So far, Pakistan hasn't lifted a little finger to take action against India-centric terror. Under Imran Khan, will it be more of the same, or will we see some action against India-centric terror, especially on 26/11 in Pathankot, sir?
No, I don't think the results of this election and who becomes Prime Minister will have a bearing on their terror activity against us, because that's an activity which is calibrated by the Pakistan army. As I said, they have been in charge earlier, they will continue to be in charge. So I wouldn't establish a direct link between a government getting elected and the terror activity increasing. But of course, if you see in 2008 and 2013, India was not an issue of any consequence in the Pakistani elections. This time there has been greater mention of India and somewhat strident statements in the course of the electoral campaign.
And why would that be the case, sir? Why would that be the case in your appreciation? Because even someone like Shehbaz Sharif saying that, give me votes, मैं 6 महीने में हिंदुओं को उनके घुटने पे ले आऊंगा वागा पर. Why would somebody like Shehbaz Sharif say that?
I think 2-3 things. One, of course, we have had tensions over the last couple of years. That's one factor. The other factor is that a large number of India baiters are in the electoral fray. And, the likes of Hafiz say, they all talk of Kashmir and all the actors have to talk of Kashmir. And third, of course, Imran Khan has attacked, one of the planks on which he has attacked Nawaz Sharif is that he was pro-India, that he was going to sell off Pakistan's interests to India. Now that of course evokes a response from the other side, and then people try to outdo each other, and I think that's what seems to have happened. But I don't believe, having said that, I don't believe that India or India relationship would have determined the choices of any appreciable number of voters.
Okay. So Mona Alam, in your appreciation, why did we see so much anti-India rhetoric in these elections in Pakistan if India isn't an issue in Pakistan's internal politics?
Firstly, you should also address their manifestos of all these respective parties, PML-N, PTI, Pakistan People's Party, all alike in this regard, that they have talked about bettering relations with India. Yes, in their rallies, in their protests, and in whatever corner meetings that they've done, they have spoke about anti-India rhetorics. But you see, this is also a very common practice in India. Narendra Modi and his party have largely contested elections.
So we'll keep Narendra Modi and India out of this conversation because we are restricting ourselves to elections in Pakistan, ma'am. Because I'm a little uncomfortable about this false equivalence that Pakistan tries to seek with India. There is none, so let there be none.
But I'm just saying that it has to be bilateral. It has to be bilateral, and you must also go by their manifestos. They might say, they might put forward anti-Indian rhetoric through their speeches, but you talk about manifestos which talks about manifestation policies. In terms of their policies, they're only talking about betterment of ties with India, and I don't think this should be just conveniently be done that you avoid Narendra Modi in the entire
no,
context.
absolutely.
Because
Again,
this
I
has
will
to be
again no
bilaterally,
equivalence with
We're talking
India.
about
Pakistan will have to
ties
work
between two
really
neighboring
hard
countries.
at democracy, at a lot of other things, and to crack down on terror. To come anywhere close to that equivalence. But that's not our subject today. We'll talk about that another day. Today, the conversation is very strictly about Imran Khan. Will he be the next Prime Minister of Pakistan with Pakistan Army's blessings? And Meher Tarar, thank you for joining us on India Today. Meher Tarar, is this Pakistan Army creating a pitch for Imran Khan, and with Imran Khan at the helm of affairs, if that is what will happen, do you think there'll be any change, or as far as the India policy is concerned, Pakistan Army will continue to dictate it?
You see, being a PTI voter, it's very insulting for me to hear what you have to say about the mandate of Pakistani people today. I decided to vote for PTI because I think it's the best party to serve Pakistan at this particular time. Before I answer your question, please understand that the army has been deployed in the polling stations, not just today. They were there in 1997. Who won the election? Nawaz Sharif. They were there in 2013. Who won the election? Nawaz Sharif.
But
So,
were they intimidating journalists the way they were in these elections? Were they shutting down television channels or not letting newspapers be circulated in areas in earlier elections? As they've been alleged to have done. I wouldn't know firsthand because Pakistan did not give any visas to Indian journalists this time, perhaps because they thought that we'll be covering a lot of terrorists like Hafiz Saeed, having a party contesting elections, madam.
Pakistani personality, Muniza Hashmi. She's Faiz daughter. She's an intellectual. She's somebody who's worked for Pakistan India Peace for a number of years. She arrived in Delhi and was not allowed to enter Delhi. So let's not talk about visa restrictions and how we treat one another when it comes to normal regular people. To answer your question, Pakistan is had an election today. All the analyses I heard in Pakistan, living within Pakistan, everybody said that it was a very tight contest. Anybody could win. For instance, compared to last time, yes, PTI has matured, PTI has strengthened because most of its vote bank was the younger Pakistan, and now probably they are of the voting age.
But were you also reading Pakistani commentary either online or what foreign journalists were writing about Pakistan? Because everyone had said it will be Imran Khan with the blessings of the Pakistan Army. I know you're a PTI voter. I know you're an Imran Khan voter, and it's a little as a journalist, I ask you this question. On the other side of a quick break, I have to take a break, but I'd request all my guests to stay on with us. A quick break. Back with the story. Very, very interesting election results coming out of Pakistan for the people of Pakistan. As far as India is concerned, all my guests say, well, it's the Pakistan Army that will continue to call the shots, dictate the policy. But does Imran Khan actually have a game plan for Pakistan, or will that game plan be decided by the Pakistan Army? All that and much more on the other side of a quick break. Stay with us.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.